at work is starting to look less like a productivity story and more like a trust story. Welcome to Paper Cut. For the past year, leaders have been selling the same promise. Faster work, fewer boring tasks, more time for the parts that actually require a human brain. On paper, it is a great deal. In practice, a lot of employees are experiencing something else entirely. They are dealing with rework. They are dealing with vague expectations. They are dealing with mixed messages about whether they should rely on these tools or treat them like a risky intern. And they are dealing with a sense that the upside is being counted at the top while the downside is being absorbed at the bottom. That is why this week matters. The stories are not about a single company or a single tool. They are about a pattern that is spreading across industries. One of the clearest signals is that many employees still choose not to use AI tools, even when access is available. That matters because it means the barrier is not distribution. The barrier is belief. People do not adopt what they do not trust, especially when the consequences of being wrong land on them. Some of this is simple caution. People do not want to be the person who ships a confident mistake. Some of it is professional pride. If a tool makes their work feel generic, they will avoid it. And some of it is suspicion. If the tool feels like a measurement device or a way to increase output expectations without increasing support, people will treat it accordingly. The second signal is what happens after adoption. A growing share of AI productivity gains can be lost to rework. That is the hidden cost leaders often forget. AI can speed up the first draft, but it can also slow down the finished output when accuracy matters. If employees are required to verify everything, the tool becomes a generator plus a checking job. Over time, that creates fatigue and resentment. It also creates a political problem inside organizations because leadership hears productivity, while teams experience more steps. This is why employee perception is not a soft issue. It shapes the entire trajectory. If workers believe AI exists mainly to increase output expectations, they will treat it like a performance trap. They will comply visibly and resist quietly. The organization will see activity and call it adoption, while the workforce experiences pressure and calls it distrust. Now look at where AI is moving next. It is moving into the employee lifecycle. Large employers are describing AI changing recruitment, evaluations, promotions, and career pathways. That can be positive if it makes skills more visible and progression clearer. It can also be corrosive if it becomes another black box that employees cannot question. When AI usage becomes a requirement for performance evaluations, the quality of the governance matters more than the quality of the tool. Employees need to know what good use looks like, what counts as misuse, and what happens when the tool is wrong. If the rule is use it, but the risk is you own the error, trust deteriorates quickly. Training is also becoming part of the operating model. Platforms are entering the AI training market. Employers are paying for skills, measuring for skills, and expecting AI fluency to be normal. That is not a trend to watch. It is already a policy shift. The question is whether the policy comes with support. Learning requires time. Time requires trade-offs. When companies demand AI fluency without protecting learning time, they create a predictable outcome. People pretend they are learning, and the organization pretends that is progress. At the same time, the deal between employer and employee is being repriced. Some firms are cutting benefits for parts of their workforce while pushing AI adoption. Employees experience that as a trade. Learn the new system, accept less of the old one. Whether leaders intend it or not, that trade shapes trust. It changes how people interpret every message about culture, growth, and investment in people. Then there is transparency, because regulation is moving faster than company culture. New rules in Europe require employers to disclose salary information and hiring process details. That changes candidate expectations everywhere, because transparency spreads. It becomes harder to hide behind vague promises when pay bands can be compared and hiring timelines can be judged. This matters for employer brand because it changes what people believe before they ever apply. If your pay system is clear and your process is predictable, you reduce suspicion. If it is opaque, you create a vacuum that candidates fill with assumptions. They rarely assume you are being generous. Work design sits alongside this. The 4-day workweek debate shows how difficult it is to change operating rhythms. Announcements are easy. Making it work across teams, clients, and performance standards is harder. Remote work adds another human layer. Some people over-accommodate, over-communicate, and burn out quietly. Transparent systems can help those people, but only if managers can run them well. If managers are overloaded, flexibility becomes informal, and informal systems are where fairness goes to die. Finally, the risk many organizations are underestimating is identity and integrity. As AI agents and automated workflows scale, governance becomes a first-order issue. Who is acting? What can they touch? And how do you audit it? Identity is no longer only an IT security topic. It is part of employee trust. Workers want to know the systems are safe and that they will not be blamed for failures caused by unclear controls. This also connects to a broader integrity problem. When people feel squeezed and systems feel opaque, they start gaming the system. Sometimes that is cynical. Sometimes it is survival. Either way, the risk is not only technical, it is cultural. This week also includes the cut list, because the layoff drumbeat continues. Cuts at major brands shape confidence across the market. They also change how AI rollouts are interpreted, because many workers assume adoption and headcount reduction are linked. Even when that is not the full story, it is the story employees hear. Here is the takeaway. AI adoption rises when the rules are clear, the training time is real, and the risks are shared. It collapses when employees feel they are funding the upside and carrying the downside. If employers want trust, they need governance, transparency, and manager capacity. That is what turns tools into working practices. Thanks for tuning in to Paper Cut. Don't let Monday catch you off guard. Subscribe now. See you next week.